was somebody just speaking a minute ago about Muslims in general. There's a lot of Muslims that don't do those activities. There's a lot of salt cedar, apparently, that doesn't do what people think either. And what do people think? Mostly what people think is what another person thought. If you dig into that committee that just has completed this enormous report, you'll find that rather than going out and seeking information on their own, they found somebody else up in the northern part of the state who had a list of plants that were good and bad according to someone's opinion. I found online an article that I think you all should read. It's fascinating. It's not, doesn't seem terribly biased because what it does is shows that a lot of the things said about the salt cedar are not necessarily the truth. Stop and think about it for a minute. If I drop some change down here on the floor, does any of you think you could tell me how much change there was there? Of course not. So how does anyone know 160-foot long tap root into the ground from a salt cedar tree? I thought about it. The only way you can do that is you got to dig a 160-foot hole next to it and get somebody, a geologist with their little paintbrushes and brush it off till you find the end of that taproot and put a measurement. Now, am I going to get the time that I lost while you guys were questioning me?
Would someone like to give up the 3 minutes for Dan to continue? Thank you, ma'am.
I'll make this brief. This is an article called "The Thirsty Tree: Confronting the Invasive Salt Cedar in American Southwest" by Melissa L. Lamberton. It's a very good and very interesting article. It really doesn't address our issues because it addresses riparian issues. I had to look the word up. Riparian means either riverside or lakeside at the edges of water bodies. But nonetheless, this whole attack on the salt cedar seems to have begun along the Colorado River basin, and some very famous names here have discovered that not necessarily true.